Hi, and welcome to the Science Fantasy Experience, and to a look back at January. So, January began with me receiving my pre-order from Ramen Toys of the 80s Commanders, their homage, inspired by take on the Centurions. They featured in my top toys of 2021 with the honourable mention, but I also have already previously done a unboxing video and kind of first thoughts, which I'll drop a link in the description below for both videos, so you can kind of take a look at how that went down. What I will say now is I'm really super pleased with them. He's now so much more tighter with a little tweak here and there, and I'm absolutely loving them. I also want to mention that they have now announced Hacker and Docterra, which is super exciting, and they're also going to be done in the exact same wash of the first wave. And I say first wave because their second wave is now announced as Toon Toy accurate colours, which is a really welcome addition, and I'm glad that they've done it. They've listened to feedback and now given people that opportunity that didn't get them the first time around to get them, as well as in that, in some ways, more accurate look. I'm super happy, as I said, with these ones, but the added bonus is they are now going to release the heads and helmets separately, done with the wash to match these. I couldn't be more pleased, and their first foray into action figures has seen some interesting comments, as well as good feedback and bad feedback, and it's been, you know, just an awesome ride and toy experience. I can't wait to see how well the Toon colours come out, but more importantly to get exact helmets and heads, because that was pretty much my pet peeve, if you will, of the original release. January was very much the dispatch and release of a lot of pre-orders placed months / year or so previously. So yeah, there was 3 drops for pre-orders that I made, and January also, in terms of toys, it was just one unexpected trip to the shops where it proved to be incredibly fruitful, and I'll get onto that because that was one of the last things I grabbed at the end of the month. But the first pre-order, which was also kind of unexpected, was Marvel Legends Hobgoblin. So this was like slated for, I think, a February release, and it kind of dropped on the 3rd of January. And because I did it through Pulse, I pretty much got it like the day after, which is incredible. You know, I haven't got a bad word to say about Hasbro Pulse at the moment. My service from them has been incredible. Super happy. More happy though with this guy. I wish he'd kind of dropped in December, because I feel like he would have taken the top spot for Marvel Legends for sure. Yeah, Doom is great, and he was the standout of the year, but I'm obviously specifically working on trying to get my favourite ultimate Spidey villains. And the Hobgoblin is up there. But they have absolutely nailed this for me. He is the perfect blend of comic book look as well as 1990s Spider-Man the Animated Series character. The colours are sublime. They absolutely pop, and they've done a few kind of things that I'm super pleased with in terms of Hasbro. They didn't reuse the chainmail aspect of the Green Goblin. If I grab Norman Osborn himself, you can see there is so much difference. It's obviously the same body, but yeah, they've just not taken the lazy route of giving him just the exact same body, because on the show you don't see his kind of chainmail armor. You see a smooth outfit, but they've also given him a translucent pumpkin bomb. Again, different to the Green Goblin release. Obviously his glider is different. It's a bit more Halloween-y, a bit more scary looking, if you will, whereas the Goblin one looks a bit more tech, being that Norman Osborn was a weapons expert as well as a scientist. Obviously the character of the Hobgoblin, whoever you see it as, whether it's Jason Massendale or Roderick Kingsley, it's the same satchel but coloured to match the glider. It's a wicked figure. It's so good. And then the other little addition, which they've given him a much more cut up cape, which makes him just even that more kind of horrific, scary Halloween monster look to him, which gives the toy a bit of uniqueness, as in, the comic book didn't always do that, and the show didn't. The show made him very kind of clean looking, a little added red dot on the eyes, an incredible grin. Just the goblins, both of them just have this insane look to their masks, and it's like perfectly encapsulated within that figure. And then you've got the retro styled card with some lovely dynamic artwork. You get to see who else is in that wave. Shocker, Scarlet Spidey version 2, black costume symbiote Spider-Man, Hammerhead, and the spider armor. I think that's Mark 1, which you see all these characters in the majority of the show, apart from Scarlet Spider, who you see in his version 1 suit with the sweatshirt. But yeah, this wave is wicked. I keep seeing them in the stores and I'm thinking, should I pick up a Shocker or a symbiote Spider-Man? Not too sure, but yeah, super cool packaging. They don't allude to who he actually is. As I said, it's either Roderick, Ned, Jason, even Harry Osborn donned the Hobgoblin outfit later on in the comic run, depending on which aspect of Spider-Man you've read. Yeah, absolute highlight to January, and what a way to kick off the start of the month. Second pre-order to drop down in, I think, 12th, 13th, was this guy, Finster, from the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Lightning Collection. And if you have seen my Top Toys of 2021, you will know that the Lightning Collection was a revelation to me, and I was buzzing about it for months and months. The welcome return of a Figure Force video, which I'd not done in a while, features this guy. So again, link in description down below if you want to see a bit more in-depth look at the putty creating genius and softly spoken Finster. Before I get into the third drop of pre-orders for January, I guess 2 weeks before that pre-order dropped, I debated opening an action figure, which, for anyone that knows me, I always and ah, and I panic whether it's the right decision or not, but I felt that because the other two were open, it just had to be done. So I freed the Metal Mash Kenner inspired T800 from NECA, and I gotta tell you, getting it out of his card was absolutely frightening, because the figure is so well detailed and full of tiny bits of plastic and actual kind of mechanisms. I had the fear that they would kind of break and snap, but luckily they didn't. It's incredible out of the package. As I said, the detailing and the colour, the wash is sublime. The thing is, he's kind of just... The fear was there because he's kind of dainty. That's hilarious. I've just called one of cinema's most horrifyingly scary creatures ever created dainty. Sorry, Stan Winston. God rest your soul. He was so tricky to get hold of for so long, and I'm so glad that I opened him. He looks awesome against the fellow wave mates. If I grab the power arm, they work so beautifully together and just ooze 1990s Kenner action figures, and with the white hot. As you can see, because I've got the central heating on, he started to go blue before white. Yeah, these were a personal goal to get, and I guess it's alleviated some fear of opening toys, that's for sure. Still not going to open those droids figures, that's for sure. As I alluded to at the start of the video, I took a trip to the shops, which in turn became a trip to toy stores, and it was fruitful, bountiful, even as I grabbed this. So this is the Punisher Deluxe Set with a whole bevy of accessories, vehicle, weapons, and an action figure. My previous video to this one is a look at this action figure and what it comes with, and how I implemented it in a different way because I'm not a Punisher fan. Check out the video to see what I did to upgrade my action figures. The third pre-order then. So this one is the one that I'd been looking forward to for absolute months on end. I pre-ordered the first figure way back in October of 2020 because I was just so excited by the character that they managed to get for this toy line. And then I kept on watching kind of not reviews, but the progress and the interest from other toy collectors that I just over the months kept on kind of dropping a pre-order in, and I've ended up with ordering 3. Some of the figures I wasn't as interested in, I just went for the ones that blew me away. And as I said, the delay or the time taken for them to get released was delayed. Various issues, from factory setbacks to COVID to shipping containers trapped in the canal, but they are here now. I got them a few days, and these are the most exciting toys I've experienced in years. I cannot wait for Wave 2A and 2B and Wave 3, but the three that I went for with Bobby Valor's Action Force was the Sarge, Kerak and the Swarm Trooper with the additional weapons pack. These are ridiculously good. So if we take a look at the Sarge first. Sergeant Slaughter in toy form again after a while. That's not a wrestler incarnation. Bobby Valor has created one hell of a toy line. This is the first wave, and these things are insanely good. From articulation to weapon holsters to creases in fabric, posability, ridiculous amounts of extra weapons, removable sunglasses, a hat. This is the first lot, and I cannot explain how immense and awesome they are. When you look at a few of the figures from Wave 1 and especially Wave 2 and 3, you can see little nods to the original Palitoy Action Force here and there. You can see Bobby Valor's interest and inspiration from G.I. Joe, from working at Hasbro himself. He's just gone and created one of the best toy lines I've seen and experienced in years, especially through action figures, and also at I think a very competitive kind of price point. They're cheaper than a Super 7. They're a little bit more pricier than G.I. Joe Classified, but the step up from G.I. Joe Classified is warranted. Don't get me wrong, I still think Classified is awesome, but I feel like Classified is only just kind of finding its feet, or I'm only just finding its feet with Classified. I didn't want a lot of the characters that they first released, but now obviously with Spirit Iron Knife and Storm Shadow and redecos of Gung-Ho, it's kind of really kind of captivating me and grabbing me in. Definitely Classified, but these are next level military. You don't, or you haven't seen something as intense as the Swarm in terms of the lurid colour, all that translucent plastic, weapons holsters, just the fact that there's kind of three factions. So you've got the good guys led by Condor and the Sarge, you've then got the Swarm, but you've also got the Garrison led by Kerak. I've not opened Kerak yet. I'm kind of just savouring the moment. I had to open the Sarge first because he means quite a lot in terms of Action Force, G.I. Joe, wrestling, and now just to be involved with a new, fresh take on the name Action Force. But yeah, Kerak might be the standout just because he's so different in terms of his look and weapons. A hatchet, you know, the little kind of Baron eye and blood red kind of stripe down there. Maybe that's unintentional or intentional, but I just think these things are ridiculously good. Again, this perfectly hits nostalgia feels in terms of seeing artwork and a bio card, little bits like action points to collect, cutouts, bringing it into a modern day age with a QR code so you can look on the Valaverse website at what is coming soon. I don't want to go too much into them because I'm going to do a separate video on each character, look a bit more in depth at the boxes and the artwork and how good the articulation is and the extra weapons and Sarge pointing or holding his Colt 45, hat on, hat off. Talk about Wave 2A and 2B because real people are being introduced into the line. Yeah, just calm myself down a moment. So yeah, in the next few weeks, expect videos for sure on Valaverse, Action Force, toy line. When I've calmed down, obviously. And finally, one last pickup right at the end of the month was this. So, Rad Plastic, which was a Kickstarter, but I totally missed out. I didn't even know it was like a Kickstarter. I'm late to the game when it comes to Kickstarters. I only really got into it like last year, and I ended up doing a Kickstarter for another book, the Action Force Battle Years, which I'm literally not even 1/3 through, and I've bought another book. And the Skeletron Robo Skull Mark II. I'm digging Kickstarters so much, but yeah, this was one that I ended up seeing YouTube videos about and then looked at it and I was just like, oh, that Kickstarter's ended. Oh, it's going to be a one-off run, isn't it? But on a online book retailer, which I can't remember the name, Blackwell's possibly, it was there. And it was just like, yeah, this is scheduled for a worldwide release on the 30th of January. I like ordered it on like the 24th or something, thinking, okay, I'll just whack a pre-order in if it's real or if it is coming out, then pre-order's in. A day later, it was just like, yeah, we've got your order and we are preparing to dispatch. And I'm like, wow. So it wasn't coming out on the 30th. I guess that was just a placeholder, and like 2 days later, here it is. This book is incredible. So this is all about the Playmates toys from like 87 to 99, but it's not like a buyer's guide or kind of just pretty pictures about the figures. It shows off like concepts and ridiculous stuff, like various bits of artwork. I figured I'd just grab a load of different pages so you can try and have a look. Undercover, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles card book. Clay models. Vehicles that just didn't get made. You can see like the process of sketches to clay models. That's 1992, but I've kind of grabbed a couple of pages. There you can see my favourite Usagi Yojimbo, the Rabbit Ronin, but given his kind of like space form, yeah, 1991, when I think that was like when they were really kicking in with hilarious, wacky ideas. But yeah, I grabbed that page because you can see the concept of the party wagon, how close it got to its final toy form, and then a very early maquette of, you know, card sheets and plastic card, and then you've kind of got like a concept sketch of the turtle blimp. And then I grabbed this page so you can see some very early artwork for a sewer playset, and this is like 87. They were already in the realms of creating something, I chose this one because you get this very early sketch where there's a head of a kind of, it was meant to be like a mentor, but they pulled it because they thought it was too much of a deity. This book is full of stuff that just, I think people have no idea what went down when creating the phenomenon that is Teenage Mutant Ninja Hero Turtles. I just cannot wait to get deep into this and learn way more about the lore of Turtles. There's just so much that I don't know, and this is like the prime book to have. It's a pure coffee table book. It's huge. Man, I dig these books. Battle Action Force is incredible. The photography in it is just sublime. And then in contrast, this is all about the artwork as well as seeing kind of toys. And then you've got the He-Man book, which showcases artwork from all of the genres. When you can't afford every toy that you want, buy a book so you can look at them. That's my tip. So that was January. What a way to start the year. It was one hell of a month for toys, not just pickups, full of reveals. I mentioned at the end of last year that 2021 was a phenomenal year for toys. It's going to get superseded easily by 2022 by what, you know, is planned. We're going to see Silverhawks, 2 different companies doing Silverhawks. We are going to see Gatchaman or Battle of the Planets, depending on how you see it. We're getting Tony Roberts from Analog Toys made as an action figure. I just cannot wait for the next few months. The next 11 months. Let's put it that way. I've been Rudy Sasu, and always remember, it's as much about play as it is display. Thanks for watching.